Learning a completely new dietary pattern is no easy task. Most people will consume whatever foods their parents exposed them to when they were children throughout their lifespan. So I'm going to try to help assist you with this transition if you're trying to consume a healthier diet or remove the harmful foods out of your dietary pattern. I'm Carly. For those of you who haven't seen my videos, I'm a plant-based nutritionist, and I try to get out as many of these helpful videos as possible to assist in any type of individual's transition to this diet, but particularly plant-based mamas and females, because that's obviously what I can relate to. So these are 5 things that I wish I had known. Number 1, success on this diet is a full paradigm shift. You cannot go about this with the same mindset that you had on any other diet, and that includes the one that your parents exposed you to. So you truly need to forget everything you think you know about healthy dietary patterns and just nutrition in general, because there's so much crappy nutrition information out there. There's billion-dollar industries involved in making sure you know what you know is healthy for you. So calcium from milk and iron from meat and protein from animal foods. It's so inaccurate. It's really unfortunate that those thoughts have become so insidious and so ingrained into our thought patterns from such a young age that that's just how we go about our entire lives, believing that these are foods that need to be in our diet on a regular basis. So number 2 is focus on the nutritional quality of the food as opposed to simply picking foods that are consistent with your taste preferences. It's not just about satisfying that craving, because those cravings are not what your body needs. Those cravings are food engineers that have come up with the most highly palatable, highly stimulating, and they trick your satiety and your appetite mechanisms and all those normal functions that go on in the body when you eat foods. They go completely awry when you introduce some sort of processed, refined, unnatural substance. Try to focus on what is the nutritional profile of this food? What do I need to gain out of this meal, as opposed to, oh, this is gonna taste so good, I gotta have spaghetti for lunch or something. So make sure you get your right macros and your right amount of micronutrients every day. You don't have to get obsessive about it. Just eat whole natural foods, whole plant foods, and you will get everything you need out of your diet. Make sure you get plenty of whole grains, legumes, fruits and veggies, and nuts and seeds, and you've got everything taken care of. The third one is you're gonna need to learn how to cook and to prep your food on a weekly or twice a week basis. This is essential to succeed on this diet, because nobody is going to provide these foods for you. You can't go to the gas station and pick up your lunch. That's not the way this is going to work. Over time, you will become more and more comfortable and more confident in your skills and your abilities to nourish yourself properly by batch cooking and planning ahead. I eat almost the same thing, but in different variations, almost every week. You're gonna wanna batch cook grains, legumes, and personally, I make a huge salad and 8 quarts of soup every week, and I'll freeze leftover soup, and surprisingly, the salad stays good for about 5 days, and I'll usually make a second one later in the week. But you always want to have your legumes and your grains on hand, because those are going to be the basis of your meals. So make sure you invest in some proper cookware. That will make your life a million times easier. You are going to be chopping a lot of fruits and vegetables. So get yourself a good sharp knife and a knife sharpener, a good cutting board. A pressure cooker has completely changed my life around. I cook all my grains and legumes in there, and they come out so perfect every time. And my soup. So a good blender is another helpful thing to have, as well as, you know, your usual microwave and such. So make sure you invest in those. Number 4 is don't sub like your usual junk foods or your usual harmful foods that you're used to eating with vegan versions, because these are likely not going to be any more helpful than original versions. So let's take some kind of pancake batter, you know, oh, it's gluten-free pancake batter, or oh, it's vegan pancake batter. That it doesn't matter. That's all marketing schemes to get you to think that it's healthier than the original version. It's like if you put the nutrition labels together and you read exactly what the ingredients are and look at the added sugars and the fat and the lack of nutrition, you're going to see that you're not doing yourself any favors. You have to, like I said in the first tip, you have to completely rearrange your thought process when it comes to making meals for yourself and grocery shopping. So try to focus again on those whole plant foods and you won't have any issues. And number 5, this one is really unfortunate. People are going to continuously make you waver on your dietary decision because they are going to ask a lot of questions, and they have all these misconceived notions in their head about what's considered healthy. You know, where are you going to get your protein? How's your baby going to get enough iron without meat in her diet? You're constantly defending yourself, and it's exhausting, but it's just something you have to live with. But I want you to be prepared for it, because these are well-meaning people for the most part, but they, like I said, are very misguided. And you know, it's up to us to be the example. You don't necessarily have to educate them if they're not interested in the information you have to share, because it won't be accepted well. If they don't ask you about your diet and about why you're doing it, or if they don't ask you about, you know, how they might go implementing it, don't share it with them, because it's just like talking to a brick wall. You can always provide resources, books, literature on things that you've researched, that here, this is perfectly healthy, my baby's gonna get plenty of nutrition, I'm gonna get plenty of nutrition, this is a very healthy way to go about eating. Or you can, you know, reassure them that my doctor's on board with this and I've had my lab work done and my numbers are great, there's really no reason to cause concern. Don't allow this to deter you from continuing on this path, because it is by far the best thing you can do for yourself. Every bite of food that we put into our body either promotes health or disease. So if they don't see what you're doing is best for you, it's not worth your breath to try to explain it to them or to try to defend yourself. So just take your time, and basically the longer you do this, the more confident you're going to get in your decision, because you will see the response in your body. You will see how vibrant and healthful and youthful you become, how much energy you start having, and how lean and healthy you will remain year after year after year if you stick to this diet. Those are my 5 tips. I hope this was helpful. Make sure you subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.